Welcome to the Living Faith at Home podcast. This podcast is designed to inspire and encourage you to follow Jesus and live your faith at home. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for the Living Faith at Home podcast. This is Pastor Victor. On today's episode, we talk to Sue Erickson about things God is teaching her, navigating work at home, caring for an elderly parent, and seeing through the clouds to the silver lining in this season we're in. Hello, Sue. How are you?
Hey, Victor. Good. How you doing?
Good. Good to see you. You look shiny and bright. Smiley, even though it's a crummy spring day.
For heaven's sake. It's
awful. Yeah. So I wanted to just talk about how you're doing, maybe some things God's teaching you, some things in your life that, lessons you're learning, stuff like that. You got anything just off the top of your head as far as like things you've been learning during this time?
Well, yeah, I think what is the mantra for me is the fact that, and you and I have talked about this, I've talked about it in fellowship, about the fact that I can probably stand more alone time than some people, but I am continually reminded that I'm really not that person I thought I was, and that I really do appreciate being social. I like to pick and choose when I am or not. And this has shown me that I don't like this. Like I would not want this to be my life. So I must like people. So I think that's one thing I have really, really learned. And patience, because you can't, it's not like somebody did you wrong. This is something that is, you can't see it. It's like the wind, you can't see it. You can see the devastation that it creates, but you can't see it. It's not substantive. So it's not like your friend did you wrong and you can be mad at them. So when I go to that place where I'm frustrated or whatever, that's when I kind of have to lean on God, and I have to realize I can't be, this anger is just frustration. It's because I can't be mad at anybody. So, but I think it is sometimes, with the weather, I have a small condo. I can't get away from, I'm in the middle of the living room with my work place, as most people, but I don't have another place to go. I live here. I watch TV here. I eat my breakfast here. So I only have my bedroom. Now, my bedroom is in the back, and I was in the now it's in the living room. But it was interesting because when I got up the other morning, I looked at my emails, and there was something from YouVersion, and it was an article that said, "Do you feel out of control?" And it was really good because it talked about. It starts out 400 years. That's how long the Israelites waited for God to deliver them from slavery. But after they left Egypt, God didn't take them directly to their promised land. And so it says, so 400 years they waited. And then when they saw, he still didn't take them to where they were supposed to go. And then after 40 days, they were frustrated by the delay. So they rejected God and pursued whatever pleased them, which that was after everybody, some of the states started opening, and how people, they're not following the rules, because we're human. We don't like to wear things. We like to, Yeah. So I thought, so this is kind of an affirmation, like, wow. I don't usually hone in on these things, but I think because I was getting ready to get up and I was like, ugh, another day, waiting, laying in wait. And then I saw this and I thought, wow, God, it's just, it really is up to you. So, and I don't want to walk around angry all the time or frustrated. So, so when I get that way and I get angry, I apologize to him, and I just tell him, I'm human, I'm struggling here, I need your help. And But I think the biggest struggle is not being able to see my mother and care for her in the way that I need to do that.
Mm.
So that's been a problem.
Yeah. She's in her 90s.
93, yeah. And
Yeah.
she doesn't understand. She gets delivery from like Monroe Dairy for small things. I mean, I'll go out and get her the big shops, but the guy comes into the house, even though I tell her let him drop him outside. I'm 5 seconds from your house. I'll come over and bring it in. And she doesn't understand. She says, well, I got my mask on. I'm not going to give it to him. And I said, it's not about you giving it to him. It's about, and so it's that whole learning curve for her. My sister and I see some cognitive issues starting to happen because she hasn't been out of the house for a month and a half.
Right.
So it hurts us. And I go over. It's like I'm not going to die on the sword on this one. Some people can't get into nursing homes. I'm not going to leave my mother over there. So I suit up and I clean up and I do everything I can.
Yeah.
And so that's been a struggle because I can't hug her. Mm. And we've had our differences, but she's still my mother.
Right.
And I want to care for her and make sure she's okay. So that's been a big one for me.
Yeah. Mixed emotions there, like frustration, like mom, follow the rules. Also the sadness of not being able to, hug her and stuff like that. It's weird. It is weird. It's a weird thing. Yeah. I saw Frank Warren today for a minute. He had a flat tire and we have the same kind of truck. And so he asked if he could borrow my tire. I had a spare. And, I've been talking to Frank, right? Just like you and I, like we saw each other fellowship a couple times, we've emailed and stuff like that. But this is the first time I actually saw him physically in over a month. And it's just like, there's this weirdness of like, we're connected, but we're not at the same time.
Yeah. And you can't greet people like you would normally do.
Yeah.
You might go over and shake his hand or give him, but you can't do that.
I rolled the tire to the end of the driveway and
and then he cleansed it off after he was done. He wiped it all down.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. You said frustration. Like, so frustrated about what? Frustrated that you just can't do what you want. Frustrated about having to stay, working from home. You said, some of the frustration is where God's been helping you.
I think a lot of it is, certainly trying to do right by my mother. That's part of it. But I seem to be doing that because I have my sister to help me too. So I think the working from home, I was able to go to work and be social there. And even though I always wish to work from home, it's frustrating trying to navigate in 750 square feet where it works.
Yeah.
I am not a clutter person. To me, this feels cluttered and invasive, and I am not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I'm very neat and tidy. Things stay where I put them. And so now, I've got a different setup and I'm a little bulky over on one side and I'm constant, like yesterday morning, I changed it again. I mean, there's only so many places you can put something in 750 square feet. And that's frustrating to me.
Yeah. And the walls are closing in.
A little bit. Sure. Or things not working, connections not working in your home.
Yeah.
Like they would at work. So, yeah.
You said something at fellowship last week, and actually Jess and I have repeated your phrase. You said silver linings. Do you remember when you talked about silver linings?
Yes. Yeah.
And so, the idea of a silver lining is like it's cloudy, but the silver lining kind of shows you that the sun is still shining behind there and there's some good that's coming out of even the gray or the dark or the darkness. And so that was what you said. You said that you're seeing some silver linings. What are some of the silver linings you're seeing in general in your own life, during this time that it's cloudy and it's gray, but the sun's on the other side?
Well, as I mentioned in fellowship, there was the saving money aspect for me. I haven't gotten a raise in 7 years, and everything keeps going up. And, if I was bored, I would go schmy around somewhere and buy something I didn't need. And I'm not going to do that now and probably for a while because I don't, I got to see, I'm going to navigate, see how everything's going before I get out there.
And you don't want anything else in the apartment.
And I don't need any more clutter. So I think, and the fact that I was was able to pay my balance on my credit card off, which was helpful for me.
Yeah.
And so that was a really big one.
Yeah.
And also learning what I can do without, you
Mm.
know, that I am, and that I do buy things out of boredom, or I, I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
The silver lining is knowing that I really need to be connected with people. I
Mm.
kind of wore a badge of honor that I didn't need anybody, but
Mm.
you know, then I thought maybe people who needed people were weak.
Mm.
That was my thing, right? And I don't feel that anymore. I
Mm.
feel like, you know, thank goodness I saw that, because I don't like to think I'm a person that really, you know, doesn't need anybody, because I really
Yeah.
do. And
Yeah.
so that was a silver lining for me. I do think that, you know, I when I feel kind of alone and cooped up, and I'm working from home and it seems like a long day, I look out my bedroom window that looks on the back of a small parking lot and into the forest. And then I look out my living room slider. And, you know, I see cars sitting there and I see people walking so much, like
Mm.
so much walking around here for the first time that I've seen, basically because I'm home and they might have walked before, but people are out
Mm.
more. And then that makes me feel like, okay, this is not my coronavirus. This
Mm.
is everybody's coronavirus.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's working from home who are working.
Right.
Even the people who are elderly here, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, God, all right. So this, I don't want to feel like this is me. This is my thing. It's not. This is a world crisis.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that helps me to lift me up a little bit out of sulking or something, to realize that, okay, I'm not alone in this. This affects everybody. So
Yeah.
a little weird silver lining in
Yeah,
that.
no, absolutely. Right when this all began, I saw this quote from Dr. Martin Luther King, which said, "We all came on separate ships, but we're all in the same boat now."
Yeah.
And that I really thought about that in light of this situation, and that's helped me like be compassionate. It's helped me, you know, connect with people like in our neighborhood and
Yeah.
even in the grocery store and stuff like that. Like, you know, like one of the things that I hate about having to wear the mask now is that you can't see people's face
I
or
know.
their smile, because early on it was like you would see somebody and you'd smile and you would talk to them and it was kind of like, yeah, we all know what we're dealing with, you know what I mean? And so trying to be creative about new ways that we can still engage like that, because yeah, we're all in it together. I appreciate that. So last thing I'll just talk to you about, what are you doing for praise, right? So you're a part of our praise team. You know, we usually meet on Thursday nights, have good fellowship there, plus practice, plus singing on Sunday. So like, what are you doing to let out some of that praise? Are you blasting the music? What are you doing? How are you praising right now? Because I know that's such a big part of your life.
It is. And oh boy, do I miss it. And
Yeah.
I miss it because I love to hear the church sing. I miss it because I miss the band. You know, they're just like my brothers and sisters. And so I so miss that, connecting with them in that way. But, you know, I just, when I work, because my space is small, I have to concentrate. I play music, but it's lower.
Mm-hmm.
But like on the weekends or after that, or in the morning before I sign on, I do turn on, you know, Pandora or the Message on Sirius, and I put my Christian music on, and I just, you know, start my day with that because it makes me happy.
Yeah.
And the other day oh my gosh, it was so funny. I went grocery shopping for my mother last Thursday. And so I went to Dave's, and I was anxious going in there anyway, but I suited up and I had my hand sanitizer. I had the wipes and everything. So I put everything in the trunk so I could pull it out when I got to her house. And I'm in the back of my car. I looked probably like I was dealing drugs or something, because I had I had the trunk up. I'm in bags. I'm wiping stuff off. I'm like, you know, put it on the ground to bring it, and, you know, because I don't want to give her anything. And then I get back in the car and I put the music on, and it was Still Rolling Stones by Lauren Daigle. Mm-hmm. And that song, because it's like so bluesy and jazzy, I cranked that up, and I was just like, yeah, that's what I needed after this. Like, you know, something that just like, you know, got me. It wasn't like a real, you know, real like Oh,
sappy.
it was
Yeah.
just like driving it home.
Yeah.
Because I felt like so like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I hear that. We've been having moments where like I just want to turn on some quiet Pat Barrett where it's like, it's who you are. And then there's other times where we are like cranking up something and dancing because we need that too.
Oh yeah.
I can't just be sappy and sad all the time. I need to.
I know. You don't need that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. Sue, it was great talking to you. Sure love you. I miss you. It's good to see your face, and appreciate you sharing what God's doing in your life right now. Thanks so much.
I'm happy to do it. I miss it, you and everyone too, Victor.
I can't wait to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Living Faith at Home podcast. If you'd like more information about Living Faith Christian Church, visit us online at livingfaithri.org.